States and cities that are governed by leftist politicians pursuing leftist ideology have seen crime skyrocket. They've seen their taxpayers abused. They've seen medical authoritarianism imposed, and they've seen core American principles discarded. The woke agenda has caused millions of Americans to leave these jurisdictions for greener pastures. This has been a great exodus of Americans. Florida has served as the most desired destination, a promised land of sanity in a world that has increasingly gone off its rocker. We have embraced freedom. We have maintained law and order. We have protected the rights of parents. We have elevated the importance of family and promoted a culture of life. We have respected our taxpayers, and we have rejected woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the corporations. We fight the woke in the schools. We never, ever surrender to the woke mob. We have made Florida the state where woke goes to die. The woke mind virus represents a war on merit. It represents a war on achievement. It's a form of cultural Marxism that seeks to use identity politics to divide Americans. But perhaps most of all, the woke represents a war on the truth. And as a leader, I don't seek adulation. I don't seek any fanfare. All I seek is the pursuit of the truth. Now, truth is the key to leading a fulfilling life, having a strong family, a prosperous community, and even a successful state and country. Truth is enduring. You can try to cover it up. You can try to hide it. You can try to distort it. But as time goes by, the deceit and the lies fade away, and what is true remains. Yes, the truth will set you free. Because woke represents a war on truth, we must wage a war on woke. It is wrong for a teacher in school to tell second graders that they may have been born in the wrong body or that their gender is a choice. In Florida, gender ideology has no place in our schools, and if that means taking on Disney to make sure that's the case, we will do it. It is wrong to have a swimmer compete for 3 years on the men's swim team switch to the women's team and then win the women's national championship. That is a fraud. That is wrong. It is also wrong for physicians to pump minors with puberty blockers or to perform sex change operations on them. And in Florida now, physicians who are doing those things to these minors will lose their medical license. The truth matters. Our country is floundering because so many of our institutions have become unmoored from the truth, and they've been lost in a sea of relativism. Our nation's founders understood that self-government doesn't run on autopilot. They knew that freedom was fragile, and it required us as citizens to be good caretakers of our heritage of freedom. When the founding fathers met in Philadelphia in 1787 to design what became the U.S. Constitution, they came armed with having studied the history of every republic that had ever existed in the history of mankind, because they wanted to draw lessons about what had happened in the past and how they could apply those lessons to launching the American experiment. And there was really only one thing that all of those previous republics had in common, and it was this. Every single one of them had failed, and failed miserably. So they understood that it really fell to the United States of America to determine once and for all whether people really could govern themselves. Could you have a society based on the idea that our rights are God-given and that we should be governed under a rule of law, not the whim of individual men? Or is mankind forever destined to live under various forms of tyranny? And they correctly understood that it would be the American experiment that would ultimately answer that question. But they also knew that it wasn't something as simple as just having a great Declaration of Independence and designing a great Constitution. When Benjamin Franklin walked out of the Federal Convention in 1787, he was stopped on the street by a woman who said, "Dr. Franklin, what have you given us, a republic or a monarchy?" And Franklin said, "A republic, ma'am, but only if you can keep it." They understood that the survival of the American experiment would require dedication to true American principles. We need to see a revival of those principles in our country today. We must embrace our founding creed that our rights are not the courtesy of the government. They are the gift from Almighty God. We must reject the idea that constitutional self-government can be subcontracted out to technocratic elites who reduce individuals to mere data points. We must insist on the restoration of time-tested constitutional principles so that a government of, by, and for the people shall not perish from this earth. Florida has proved that it can be done. We offer a ray of hope that better days may still lie ahead. I am proud of the achievements we have made in the state of Florida. I'm honored to be here, and I look forward to the battles ahead. I will fight the good fight. I will finish the race, and I will keep the faith. Thank you all. God bless everybody.